I've decided to make me a quick olive and probably another color. Actually, I'm thinking this green here. This is called mid green. Okay, so I'm trying to make me a chunky, and I'm gonna show you guys how to make a chunky hat beanie. Even you may not have chunky yarn. You can use a 4-way yarn. This is a 4-way yarn, and usually what I do is I'm using this Premier Just Yarn 1 pound. This is in the color Forest. Okay, of course I got this from the Dollar Tree, $5, y'all. So what I'm doing is, if you can see here, this is the pull from the center, okay? And then this over here is the yarn that's wrapped around it, okay? So I'm using both of these ends or these at the same time, okay? And that creates this, and you just double the yarn. See, so it's 2 pieces here. Now I've already started this one, okay? So you just do your basic, however many stitches you want to do to start your magic ring. For my head, 11 works best for my head. But typically you can do 10, you can do 12, 11, however many you feel will give you the best circumference for your hat, okay, for your head. But typically it's like 12, okay, that's typical. But I like to do 11 so that I can do 11, 22, 33, 44, 55. I'll end up with 55 on the 5th row of my increase. And then you do your 11, or I did my 11. Then this row I did 2 crochets in each stitch, which gave me 22. And then the 3rd row I did 1 double crochet in the first stitch, in the same stitch where I slip stitched, okay? So I put 1 in there. The next one I put 2. And then the 3rd one I put 1. The 4th one I put 2. The 5th one I put 1. So it's like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, all the way around. And then that's how I came to have 33 on this 3rd row. So if you look at it, it's the even number. It's 11 for the 1st row. The 2nd row is 22. The 3rd row is 33. So you just kind of go up like that. If it's 12, it'll be 12, 24, 36, 48. Multiplication, y'all. Math is important. But anyway, so basically that's what all you do. So basically, I went on, and so now I'm on my 4th row, okay? And basically this is just all you do. So basically you just continue go around. This is just, I'm doing single crochet for the whole hat basically. And I'm just gonna just do a beanie, okay? So right now, my last stitch was 1. The previous one was 2, okay? And now I'm gonna go in for, so this is my 3rd row. So I'm doing 1 crochet and 2 stitches. 1, I just love that, okay? And you got to be careful sometimes because you're doubling the yarn, sometimes it can slip and you can grab one of them by accident, right? So you might be careful. So just yarn over. So now I did 1. I need to do 1 more for here. 1 double crochet. And then the next one I'm going to put 2 because it's my 3rd round. So I'm doing 1, 1, 2. And then if you look here, my next stitch is this stitch here. You see how there's 2 in there? Then that tells me that I need to put 2 in this top stitch here because it's time for the 2. So I'll run over 1, okay, and then I yarn over again and put it in the same stitch, and then I have my 2, okay? So then I put 2 in 1 stitch, and then my next stitch is going to be 1 double crochet, okay? The next one's going to be another 1 double crochet, and then the next one's going to be double. So there's 1 on the bottom, there's 2 in there, so I know I have to put 2 on top. If you typically kind of watch as you're putting in the crochets, you'll see that's a pattern that you should see, okay? If you go back and you look at your pattern, you see that it's missing something, then that means you must have put either 1 crochet and where you're supposed to put 2, or you put 2 where you're supposed to put 1, or you just skip 1, you know, I mean, that happens. So you should end up with the right amount of stitches once you get to the end. Okay, so I'm just going to continue on here. And then, so the next one is 1, the next one is another 1. And then make sure you straighten out your yarn, okay? And I know the yarn can get a little tangled because I'm pulling from both ends of the skein. So you just want to make sure you keep it separated so it won't tangle up, okay? So that's 2. Now next one, I'm going to put 2 double crochet. So these are called increase rows, okay? And just it's very simple. You just kind of increase row by row until you get to your 5th row. Your 5th row should be your last increase row, unless you're doing maybe a man's hat. If you're doing a men's hat, usually they go up to 72, so you'll go up to row 6 and do a last increase. And all you do is you do the same thing. The 1 and then it's double, okay? And then it's 1 and then a double. And then here it's 2 and a double. The next row is 3 and a double. The next row is 4 and a double. So you can go as high as you want, depending on how big, how large the person's head is, okay? Everyone's head is different, okay? So basically you want to just keep track of your stitches. It's very important as a beginner. And I want to put these little tips out, because if you start, you're just learning. I had to do this too. Now I'm pretty much okay with knowing where to slip stitch. But when you start your new row, go ahead and put a stitch marker here. You can use a regular stitch marker if you've bought them, or you can use even a piece of yarn and just put the piece of yarn through there and tie it, and so that you know exactly where to slip stitch, okay? Because that is a big issue when you first learn how to crochet, okay? So make sure you're using your stitch markers when you first start, so that you won't lose your place, okay? And then counting is crucial, okay? So make sure you're counting your stitches, and don't be afraid to start over. Like my first row, I missed a stitch at the beginning. I had to undo that whole piece. Okay guys, I have already changed my color, and I know I did it off camera, sorry about that, but I'm going to show you guys once I get back to this color how to change the color where it's real seamless. Okay, I have gotten to the end I did 2 rounds of the lighter green, and then now I'm going to switch the colors back to the olive green, okay? So I'm going to show you guys how I do that. So basically I'm here at my last stitch. Should have 50 stitches going all the way around, so I count my stitches every row just to make sure that I'm on point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 55. Okay, so I have 55. That's what I want. So now what I do is, so I leave it at this stitch right here. So the last stitch before I close it, before I slip stitch it here, I leave it like this, and then if you see there's two loops right here. Okay, so what I do is I pull out a little bit, give it a little room here, okay? And then I take my hook and I put it under these 2 little hooks here, 2 loops, and I put it like that, okay? So I put it like that, give myself some room. Then I take the new color that I want to switch it to, which is my original, and it's the 2-string. I keep it 2-string. And all I do is I hook it onto the hook, both yarns, okay? I give a little tail, and then I just pull it through these 2 hoops there, and I pull it through. And once I put it through, I leave it on there, and then I make sure it's enough tail on there too, okay? If it's not, I pull it. Then I go into take the tails of the previous color, and I just pull it out. There you go, so now it's out. And I still have the new color in there, okay? So then I just tighten it up a little bit. I pull this, make it come down a little bit more, so I tighten it up. Now at this point, I flip the hat. I'm sure you guys can see here. And what I do is I go ahead and I take the previous color, okay, and then I take the tail of the new color, and then I tie a little knot in it. So not too tight, but just enough where it stays firm. And I just double knot it. I don't do it too tight, just in case I need to unravel it for some reason. Okay, so I just do a little knot, and basically that's it. So now I have this on here, and then I take my scissors, and then I cut the same even. Okay, so the new tail and with the existing color, I just take it side by side, and what I do is I just kind of cut it even. So I have 2 of them here. I either sometimes will just go all the way to the end of the new color tail and just cut it there, so that I can have 2 of them the same, because when I usually crochet my tails into as I'm crocheting, so that's less ends that you need to weave in at the end of your project once you're done. So basically I'll just do here, I'll just like cut it off there a little bit, okay? So now My previous color is now off. I just set it to the side because I'm gonna bring it back. And now I have my new color still attached. And then I have the two ends from the previous and for the new. Okay, so now at this point, now I'm ready to slip stitch. So before even weaving these in, I just hold them back. And so now I'm ready to just slip stitch, okay? So now I go over here and I slip stitch just to the top of the first double crochet, okay? And I go here and I pull through, and I continue to pull through that hoop, pull it a little tight, and I go here and I chain 2. Now I chain 2 for my hats, but you can chain 3. Some people chain 3. I like the 2 because to me it makes the hat a little bit more snug, more compact. But that's for me. You could do 3. I've done 3 as well, but lately I've been doing 2. So anyway, so now I'm ready to start my new row, okay? So now I just take my ends here and I just kind of pull them together on top, yarn over, and I go back into the same hole that I slip stitch in. So we're right here, under here, I go right under there. So I go and I put my hook in there. I take the ends and I wrap it around and just make sure it's on top of the hook. And I yarn over, pull through, pull back through the hole. I'm doing a single crochet. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay. And so far, my tails are under that little hoop right there. Then I just continue, yarn over, I go into my next stitch, make sure those ends are there, pull through 2, pull through 2, and I just continue. Next stitch, putting in a double crochet. Okay, I have a little more tails here. I'll eventually just cut off, just stop weaving in the ends once I feel like they're short enough where I can't really crochet anymore. Okay, so it looks like I have room for maybe one more. Yarn over. Make sure those are kind of holding down a little bit if I can. Okay. All right. So at this point I've done. Now this chain, I don't count this chain right here. I don't count that in any of my hats because I feel like it throws off my stitching for the line that goes there for your seam. So far I'm not including this one. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5, but it's however long you need to do it. So these are sticking out here. I usually just let them go now. I don't try to force them in any more stitches. I just kind of like, I let them hang off, and I'll just go ahead and continue into the next stitch and just add my single crochets. And I'll do this all the way around. And I will take care of those ends later. So they're just sticking out here, but it's in there. They're not gonna come out, okay? So you can just even snip them and they'll be fine. You can leave them here. So then I just go ahead and just do. I'm sorry guys, I keep saying single crochet, but I'm doing actually double crochet for the whole hat until I get to the last row. All right. So I'm gonna continue that and I will meet you guys back at the end. I'm calling y'all back. Okay, so the last time I left you guys, I changed my color and I got to the end, and then I was gonna tell you how I came back. Well, in the meantime of all that, guys, I was interrupted a few times with phone calls that I had to go make a run because we had our church service tonight. So I ran to church, but before I left, I was able to finish the hat. Okay, so I went on and just finished the hat, guys, because I was just too many interruptions. So I just wanted to show you guys how the hat turned out. Okay, so here's the beanie that I made. Okay. That you guys saw me making, and I made it out of a chunky hat instead of just a regular 4-way. And of course I already showed you guys that I had used the 1 pound Premier. Okay, and this is from the Dollar Tree. Remember this week too, as of last week as well, I was trying to make sure I'm using up the yarn that I bought from the Dollar Tree, right? So this is part of this. So this dark one is this one. The other one is not Dollar Tree. That's just regular, a different type of yarn. But I just wanted to show you guys how it turned out. Looks very nice. So I have, I think, a total of 12 rows. And because I doubled the yarn, it became a chunky hat. And I put 11 in my magic circle, and then we went 11, 22, 33, 44, 55. When I got to 55, I stopped and I just did a single crochet in every single row all the way down, okay? And then when I got to the bottom, I just add a single crochet around the base of the hat, just to kind of pull it in a little bit and just to kind of, you know, have it like a little style to it, right? Now, what I love about beanies, okay, when you make a beanie, you can put however many rows you want. You can turn it into a ruffle hat. You can make it a slouchy hat. There's so many possibilities you can create with this. I even thought about maybe eventually making a ruffle hat, you know, and just taking this color and making some ruffles, you know, and I'm gonna turn this one beanie into a ruffle hat. I may not do that, I don't know, but I have a lot of yarn, so I can always do that anyway, okay? So this is the final product. I'll show you guys what it looks like on my head. And so I'm just looking for my seam right here, so I want it to be in the back. So basically, this is what it looks like on. Now, because it's 12 rows and it's chunky, it's actually still a little big for my head, but it's kind of giving the slouchy look, kind of. See, if you look back here, it's like a little hang time is what I call this hang time in the back. So if I see any hang time, I'm like, it's a slouchy, okay? Because it's not tight fitting, but it feels very comfortable. I can wear it like this, regular, or I can even pull it back like this off my forehead onto my hair, and I can wear it as a slouchy, okay? And so I can wear it like this. It's still cute, right? And then I was thinking, let me see if it'll work like this if I roll it up. I don't think it'll look right rolled up. Maybe. Yeah, I think so. Look at that. I can even roll it up. I could put one little roll on it, or two, however small I want it to be. Probably not two. So I think it can go one. So this is a roll. You can do it like this. That's cute too. All right. Bye.